Yes. She served as a part of the President's legal team, and at this time I want to make sure I also highlight Election Integrity Ambassador for Veterans for America First. I don't want to take up no time. I want you all the time. I'll say all the time you want, but we do have time limit. Let me welcome Courtney Kramer.
Alright, I've never spoken to a crowd this large, so just like bear with me while I read some notes, but I'll do the best I can. Like Brian said, I was a lawyer on President Trump's legal team in 2020. Prior to that, I'll give you a little background. 2016, I started law school at Emory. If you remember, 2016 was the first year that President Trump was elected. I walked into Emory with a smile on my face and a Trump glitter sticker on my laptop. Needless to say, I was not popular. 2018, between my second and third year of law school, I had the privilege and the honor to work in the White House, in the Office of White House Counsel under President Trump. I came back, graduated law school, moved to D.C. for a little bit, worked for the American Center for Law and Justice. In November 2020, I found myself volunteering at Georgia GOP headquarters in Atlanta. And I don't think I left that place for 3 months afterwards. What we saw in November of 2020 was disheartening and disrespectful. We saw what happens when people don't know the vote. Does anyone here know the number of votes that President Trump lost by in 2020? 11,779. That's not a lot of votes. In the runoff in January, you had 500,000 people who voted in November not go back and vote. And what happened as a result of that? Well, now we have 2 Democrats in the U.S. Senate that represent Georgia. They don't represent us. After the election, after I worked for President Trump on the legal team, I then became the executive director of True Vote and for the country all last year. And say a lot of these officials in those positions, they're elected officials. You vote them in. Looking at President Trump's lawsuit, we never got our day in court because the judges kept punting a court date.
That's exactly right.
And how do the judges have their jobs? They're elected. And now, all of those insurrectionists are under investigation. You heard Senator Gooch talk about it. He got subpoenaed. And now you have this investigation in Fulton County by a district attorney, Bonnie Willis, who is wasting our taxpayers, taxpayer dollars, to investigate nothing. How does she get her job? She's elected. Who votes for her? Not you guys technically, but we the people, right? People in positions of power like that are a consequence of what happens when we don't go vote. What we have in the U.S. Senate is a consequence of what happens when you do not go and vote. And in light of 9/11 tomorrow, you know, we live in a country where, we live in a country different from other countries. And most countries, you don't really have a right to vote. If you're a female, you don't have a right to vote. Or if you go vote for another party, I think Afghanistan, you get your finger cut off. That's ridiculous. Those 500,000 people that did not go vote in that January runoff, that is a disgrace to the people who lost their lives on 9/11. It's a disgrace to people who fought for our country and fought for our freedoms after 9/11. It is a privilege to vote. Well, it's our right, but it's a privilege that we live in America that we can go vote. Stacey Abrams, Georgia, is not a Georgia we want to live in. She wants to defund the police. She wants to take away your First Amendment rights. She hates people like us. She hates people like me. She hates people like you. They want to investigate everybody. They don't want Republicans to get loud. I didn't mention this earlier, and a lot of people don't really understand this, but the reason we filed a lawsuit in Georgia on behalf of President Trump was because of people like you. Because you guys went out and voted and you got loud. We can't fix problems if we don't know what kind of problems we have. Everything that happened in 2020 was because you went and voted. And like Brian said, I don't care how you vote. If you don't like the machine, pay your ballots. That's a whole other discussion, but you have to go vote. Or we wouldn't have had SB. Right now we have millions and millions of dollars being pumped into Georgia. President Trump, it was an honor to work for him multiple times, and that I have the privilege now to continue to work for him at a firm I'm at based out of D.C. I'm still here in Georgia. I live in Fulton County, unfortunately. But President, I would totally come up here, but I got problems to fix down there. President Trump put a heartbeat back in America again. I think we saw that in 2016. We saw it in 2020, and I think we're going to see it again in 2024. And I don't want to live in an America where I don't want to be surrounded by people that don't go vote. Stand up for what you believe in. Being a conservative is still cool. It should not be controversial to love your country. And because you're a patriot, you should not have a target on your back. But right now we do. And we need to vote people out of office that put that there. So thank you guys.
Let me ask you real quick, and you may address it, but I want you to go back to it. What are you working on right now? I'm real excited because my good friend, and I hope you're feeling better at home, Stan Fitzgerald and his wife Donna, I'll look on the internet and they're in South Carolina, and then they're in Bedminster, and then they're down in Mar-a-Lago and Arizona and back here in Georgia. And that's the Veterans for America First Foundation. You're an ambassador, election integrity. Give us just a little bit of that and what you're working on right now, Courtney.
Being an election integrity ambassador, people would say I'm an election integrity expert because of what I've been doing for the last couple of years, which is true. And so when Stan asked me to be their election integrity ambassador for Veterans for America First, it's because we don't have, the left doesn't have an organization. They don't like law enforcement. They don't like our veterans. They don't like our military. They don't like America. Stan decided to create an organization of people that come together that advocate for those people. And so we can't advocate for those people if we don't have elections in place that elect officials that protect them. We don't need elected officials that want to defund the police and let criminals run around the streets and stuff like that, which is what's happening and what's going to happen. So I think making everybody aware of what laws are in place right now and how we change them, that's what we're trying to do.
Thank you, Courtney. Thank you for taking your time and driving all the way over here to do this today. All right, folks,